Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Unpopular Review, AEW edition. I know you guys just saw me yesterday. I reviewed NXT, but I was called to be here to talk about All Elite Wrestling. I'm your temporary host of this Wednesday, Badguy Jack. I repeat myself, blah, blah, blah. But let's bring in the actual host for AEW's review. He's brand new to the brand. He was here last week with the executive consultant. I know the executive consultant gave you a hard time. I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm just here to curse. So let me bring you in. All Elite Joko. What is going on, fam? What's going on, brother?
Oh, man. It wasn't that bad.
No, Josh, give us some time. He's a whole bologna sandwich. He'll piss you off. Okay, I digressed. Because no one likes a bologna sandwich. Bologna sandwiches suck.
I mean, I usually say wet sandwich because, like, legitimately nobody wants a wet sandwich.
Gross.
Exactly. see, that's the exact response. But yeah, man, I enjoyed tonight's show. Had a good time. Always happy to watch wrestling. Always happy to enjoy myself.
I mean, that's the thing about pro wrestling, right? We got so much wrestling now. If WWE is not for you, that's fine. There's AEW. If AEW is not for you, there's MLW. If MLW is not for you, there's Impact. If Impact is not for you, there's right. But you get to digress. You get my point. So why don't we open it up? I mean, they did start off with the World Heavyweight Champion, which is Kenny Omega against. So I don't watch enough, but he's called the Dark Angel, correct?
Yeah, Dark Angel, Alan Angels.
Yeah, I see. When they said Dark Angel, I was like, oh shoot, they brought back that show from Fox. But then I see Jessica Biel there, and I was kind of like, oh man, I guess, sure, whatever. But please, why don't you talk about this match? Why don't we talk about this?
Okay, so anybody who's been watching like AEW for a good amount of time would know that this is their second match. When he first showed up on the brand, he was, I think he was like a local talent. It was during the pandemic, and or right before the pandemic, I think. But he and Kenny had a phenomenal match, and like a lot of people who were watching the brand at the time were like, man, this guy's actually really good, because we've seen him a couple of times on like Dark and stuff. But when he finally fought Kenny, it was like just go fast, and it was like, okay, he's legit. So I personally have been waiting to see this match for a good minute. Kenny was very aggressive in this match, which I always like to see a good amount of aggression from Kenny, because he's such a goofy persona, but to match that with just absolute in-ring intensity, is part of what I like about Kenny.
Yeah, so catching a little bit of this match, not a little bit, I caught a good portion of it. Wasn't familiar with Dark Angel. I mean, I did hear about that little background where he pretty much showed up last year, and I guess he impressed a lot of people. Was even impressed so much that Brody brought him into the Dark Order, so he was impressive enough. And I mean, for me, it was just a little like, oh, okay, I get to showcase a little bit of what he can do for someone who don't watch AEW enough. So I was like, oh, okay, he's not bad. Kenny had to get the win. Kenny's one defending the world championship. Next Saturday or Sunday? Because I know sometimes they don't even do Sundays; they do Saturdays, but I'm not sure. But I know next week, it's coming soon that he's going to be facing Hangman Page. So yeah, he had to win. If he had lost, he would have looked like a goof. I think we can all agree it would have been goofy for him to just lose to this guy. Yeah. But Dark Angel don't look bad. He doesn't lose nothing, and maybe down the line there could be this story where Kenny keeps beating him, but then eventually Dark Angel gets his win. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the guy had a really good, beautiful Arihara off the top, out onto the outside of the ring. Had a good little bit of momentum going there in the middle of the match, but then, he went for that frog splash. Kenny got the knees up. Right. And then, he reversed that one-wing angel, and that was what really pissed Kenny off. He didn't get it off, and, it's Kenny's
I would be pissed off if I couldn't get it off either.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenny just he of course got pissed, so that double V trigger just to seal it and finish.
Brutal too. Actually, really brutal. Like when he really nailed it, because the first one he got, he kicked out. So then he hit it twice. He hit it like maybe 1 or 2 more times just to show. And Kenny needs that because, like you mentioned earlier, he can be really goofy. Which, wrestling have variety. Sometimes people hate all of that. I think wrestling can have variety. But he's the world heavyweight champion. He needs to show some aggression. Show us why he is, what he called the god of wrestling apparently. And he started adding little like Bible quotes where he said, not even Bible, William Shakespeare's. I let you live, and now you are gone. And I said, yeah, okay, Kenny, you're losing me, buddy. Man. But he needs to show. It's good to show them aggression. Like when you get aggressive, you gotta show some teeth when you get aggressive, and that's what he's doing. He's showing some teeth. You're showing them sharp teeth. That's what you gotta do. You gotta go, like when you fight someone, you gotta show them teeth just to show you mean business. Don't grind them though. It's not good for the teeth, so don't do that.
No, it makes them dull. You gotta have them sharp.
He gets it.
Impressive. Oh yeah, it's part of the intimidation, man.
Absolutely. Have a little vein in the neck right there. Show a little teeth. Have some sweat. I don't mess with anybody with a little bit of extra sweat now. But yeah, Kenny definitely brought the heat. He didn't continue this beat down, to which brings out cowboy shit. Cowboy shit. I gotta say, they are behind him. I know a lot of people are not feeling Hangman Page. But these people, they were eating it up when he came out there. Even with that little tease where he went for the buckshot lariat and Kenny ducked and ran off but the fans, they were eating it. They were behind it. That's their guy. That's going to be their. I'm going to say it. That's going to be the next world heavyweight champion.
I mean, it's just it's those times in wrestling where you have a storyline that's been going for so long, and it's just the natural progression of where that story is supposed to go. And a lot of people, it was supposed to happen at All Out, but circumstances. Hangman had the baby and everything with his wife, and I'm so happy for them.
Yes.
But it's just been a long time coming, and it's the crescendo to the whole storyline, and it's that feel good moment that everybody's been waiting for a very, very, very long time now.
Yeah, I think and them pushing it, like, right, he was having his baby, so obviously family first and real life stuff and whatnot, but it's kind of cool that they push it as far as they did, because like you said, it's a 2-year story about his odyssey to be the world champion, and it's a year odyssey to everything going on with him in the elite. The one time his family, his friends, his compadres, his homies, the boys, which you can watch on Amazon Prime.
Oh, great show!
I gotta actually. I don't mean to go off air here, but we finished doing Invincible, which was cool, and I know they're both actually kind of similar in ways and shows, except one is real and one is drawn.
Well, I mean,
tomatoes.
Yeah, I was about to get real deep there, but I didn't. I like to do it. Invincible's amazing. I loved every second of Invincible. Like,
it's great.
My wife hates gory stuff and like very vivid violence, but she watched Invincible. Like,
there you go.
It was so good.
There we go. There we go. Okay. What we got here next? We got one CM Punk coming out, right?
Yep. Okay. That's that segment. Continue.
I'll carry on.
I'm kidding.
I know he just came out and that was it. He just showed up, right?
Well, in between there was that Malachi promo.
Yeah, did you get to? Because I did not take notes. I know he was in a closet. There was some smoke all over the place, so I didn't know.
His closets.
The fan of closets and smoke.
Yes.
Like
I
know. I was sitting this. You know what I image sometimes, like just before he does his promo. Like, I don't know why, but I just image like Snoop is on one side, Willie Nelson's on the other, and it's just this great big pile of smoke. And he sits here and says, "Nah, that's good. Like, that's good. I got the scenery how I want it." So, I mean, yeah, he does this. But what was he actually talking about? Like, let's get into the details on that, because it sounds like he's not done with Cody, because he did mention some over the lines. He was saying some. I don't want to say he was quoting something. It was just because he was mentioning like even Jew. He mentioned something with Caesar,
mm-hmm.
and I thought that was intriguing, but it just looks like he's done with Cody. He was saying you can ban me from ringside, but that don't mean what's gonna happen is gonna happen. He calls out Tony Khan, who it's funny. It just seemed like these guys that say I love working with Tony Khan. They love calling him out on air like he's a real piece of work. But I digress.
Tony actually long ago said, there always has to be that person to be a villain, even if they're in the background, whether they say anything or not. But he does all his talking on Twitter. But Malachi has always been talking since he's come in, has been talking about how it's not really about Cody. It's never really been about Cody. It's about breaking down that section and that hierarchy that has been created. His little cult, his little group, the Nightmare Factory. And he, of course, gave out that little nugget of there's somebody, and you're gonna get betrayed again, basically. And it happened with QT, it happened with MJF, and I would love to see this be that thing that kind of throws Cody over the edge. He's been getting booed recently, that be the thing that starts getting him kind of like paranoid and just burning all of his bridges and everything, and then that leading to someone actually.
Good job, Derek. Because he was trying to help out here with C's betraying Marks.
Yeah.
Good job, Derek.
Exactly.
Hope all is well, sir.
Indeed.
But carry on.
But yeah, like just planting that little seed of doubt that somebody else is going to betray you. Not everybody's your friend, and the world.
Who do you think it is? You know what? I think it's Armed Anderson. Honestly, I think he's the one who.
I want it to be Arn so bad.
Me too.
Like my wrestler answer would be like Lee Johnson or.
Oh yay!
But what I want is Arn Anderson. Like
it's gotta be Arn Anderson.
It has to be Arn. Like that would be the ultimate. Kicking the groin for Cody, like to have that one person who's always been there to finally just be like, you know what?
I would love for it to be on Anderson, and then like I don't know why, like so if I had to pin a scenario out, like he hits the spine buster on Cody, then he pulls out this Glock that he's been talking about just to send a message. He says, I told you I was gonna turn on you. I told you all along. He just with his graveled voice. Oh, I'm gonna get you, man. Cody. Yeah, I would love for it to be on as part of me actually do think it is on because I feel like there's been this little tease about it, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But I would like for Malachi to do more. Granted, it seemed like he's done more. I mean, he's had matches. I don't want to make it like he's always been talking. So I guess, this wasn't so bad.
I feel like a big part of Malachi's character, though, is him talking. Like, I feel like, listening to interviews with him and things like that, he really puts a lot of thought into his character. And I feel like he expresses that a lot more through his promos. Of course, he does what he does in the ring, and it's absolutely outstanding, but
he's great. I
his
agree.
Character is driven by his promos. Like when he's talking, I instantly just okay, what's he got? Like he makes you pay attention because he's a man of few words, but it's always something with a little bit of cryptic messaging in there, and it demands because of the limited There's nothing behind him. There's nothing, extravagant about him. It's just him in the darkness, and he's the only thing that you can focus on. It demands a presence, and it demands your attention. And so, like, I feel like that is the way he gets his story moving through, through his promos.
There you go. So, I mean, I guess with that being put out, and hopefully he gets on to move on to something else, even though like you were saying, he really was just more for destroying the inside of this brand rather than about the win. But like speaking of I guess wanting to get his hands on somebody, let's talk about Punk. I mean, he comes out He that John Moxley is he's in rehab, and like got the crowd to cheer. She said, "Don't cheer for me, let's cheer for John Moxley." Gave a really nice, I feel like from the heart kind of. I don't want to say it's a promo because I don't think it was a promo, but just from the heart, just talking from the heart.
Yeah, almost like a PSA.
Yeah, and I dig that because I do want to say that too. If anything like that, there's always someone that's willing to give an ear. So I do like to throw that out there too. But he calls out Eddie Kingston. I don't know why. I just kind of laugh because Eddie Kingston is part of me sitting here says this might be a really cool match. I mean, I didn't watch all of it between him and Danielson because if you say Daniel, the AEW fans would just they'll get their muddy shoes and step on your white fresh sneakers. So you gotta make sure you get this right. That's awful, and don't wear white sneakers because they easily get dirty. But yeah, no, it's the worst. But he calls him out. He's not. He mentioned John Moxley not being there for obvious reasons, and then mentioned Kingston not being out there, and said, and the crowd was pretty much like, they were saying, what's the next maybe Full Gear, right? Full gear, full gear, full gear. And he's like, yeah, we could do that, or we could do that this Friday, or we could do something Friday where he can apologize. That's all right. I mean, one of his more fire promos, but it wasn't awful either. It just wasn't when you compare to certain promos and where you kind of got you excited and pumped for something. I didn't think this one really hit it. But what did you think?
I can't wait for I'm fired up and I'm about to whoop everybody's ass Punk. That's my favorite version of Punk. I'm enjoying Happy Punk. But I too am very interested in this match.
You want to crash on? Yeah. That's interesting.
Good point out. Yeah.
Good point up, Derek.
Yeah.
Okay, what was you gonna say? I mean to distract you there, but what was you gonna finish off with?
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm actually quite interested in how this match is going to turn out, to see the difference in styles and just because it's going to be two old dogs just going to war with each other. And we all know, if you've watched at least one of Eddie's matches, you know how stiff the man is. So I'm very excited to see see what he can draw out of him. Interesting feud. And I'm really hoping that this will bring out a more fired up promo, from Punk, because Eddie does nothing but spit straight fire on a mic. So
he's Bowser.
Yeah,
because he just spits fire.
Yeah,
Eddie, but Punk. That's the thing. Punk can talk. Eddie could talk. I think, and it feels like this is something that didn't get enough time to build because, some of the things I hear sometimes is like a lot of people want to see Punk and MJF, and I'm like, and they're like, well, if you give them some time, the promo between these two, it gets you kind of excited, but you also want time as well.
Exactly. So, a proper build.
Yes, build time. I feel like those are ingredients you need, and it can really create something magical. But what looks like this is going to be a match added to Full Gear. I say, okay, let's go for it. Cool. I mean, it looked like it's happening anyway. So, before we go into commercial, we got like another minute, but we could give it two. What was the next segment before we go into commercial?
Miro cut a crazy promo, and it was just the intensity. The man can cut a promo. Like, the intensity was there, the message was there, the intent was there. You know why he was there. Always excited to see him. I'm so happy that he's gotten to where he's gotten to, because the beginning of his run here in AEW was very interesting, and I was not a fan, but I'm very happy with the monster that he is once again, and just seeing him be himself.
Yeah. When he talks and this whole stuff about God, it's hilarious to me. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but this is definitely a step up from his gaming thing, which, I mean, we're gamers, but you still we want Miro who just kills everybody.
Right. Yeah. Because, we know he's a gamer. The man's a huge nerd, and it's great and it's wonderful. I've watched plenty of his videos of him gaming, but I need to keep those two things separated. You're too damn big to be, like, hey guys, I'm a gamer, but I can, bench press this truck. Like it's
yeah, there ain't too many gamers that can say that. To be quite honest, there ain't too many gamers that go outside. So yeah, I get what you mean.
I know I'm one of the few ones.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. I played all sports all growing up, and then rugby when I was in college.
You got athletic bone in you. That's what I'm talking about, though. There you go.
Man. I love sports.
Yeah, there you go. Them. Yeah, I know. I can't sit there. After a while, I'm just sitting there going like, nah, no.
Yeah, I'll play them.
There you go. I'll throw a football. I can't say it'll be good, but I'm not gonna sit and watch these guys go, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw a football and make $80 million a year. I'm like, stop making me look bad. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do a quick commercial break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna be back to talk more AEW. Stay tuned. Let me just give it a little backstage right here. So when watching it, is Captain right here said, why is he working out with a shirt on?
That's a valid question. In the ring with someone like Ciampa. And now I felt bad about the slip just because I know how wrestling Twitter can be. They can be very brutal.
Oh my God, yeah.
WrestleBotch tomorrow. But yeah, no, he was very impressive. I think he's, he has a great future. I'm just a little annoyed that he was even put in this situation because it's kind of like now he has this big time loss. And while again, I agree he did win in the loss because he, showed his skill and, he gained that respect.
Yes.
But at the same time, I didn't really want to see.
Playing from RPJ's iPhone.
There's no way that could not happen at least one time on this show. Hey, I had Chris sit here and say he's going to fire Alexa, but me and her won, so she's not going anywhere. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Unpopular Review, the AEW, I almost said NXT, AEW review. I'm Badguy Jack, even though it's just here, because I am just here, and he is all elite Joker. We're here talking about everything that just happened. And we want to say thank you for tuning in, watching us, choosing us to be the review show. If you're liking everything you're seeing, give us a like, love, and share. If you're on Facebook, give it those reactions, thumbs up, heart, cry. I don't even know why that's a thing. Cry, give us an angry. If it's on and share. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell us why you gave us a thumbs up. Tell us why you gave us a thumb down. Tell us why you don't agree to everything we're doing. If you're on Twitch and Twitter and all that stuff, we just say thank you for watching because I don't know if there's any kind of thing where you could do thumbs up, thumbs down. We got this guy, Elvis. He says, I have arrived. Yay. And he says, who's better sounding? He's put me on a spot here saying who I think better between Spider-Man or Sonic. How about they're both equally great? That's why I have onesie on. And I got this from, and I haven't hung it up yet, from Comic-Con. Look at that. So nice. I hang that up. I gotta get it from him. But we're here to talk AEW.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you. I'm quite the nerd, sir. So we're here to talk.
Same.
I see. I remember when we first did the thing, I was saying like, "Oh, you got Michael back there." He's like, "Yep." So definitely. So we get this next segment. It's not a match, but it's pretty much the Elite battling Christian, Jungle Boy or Jungle Boy Jack. I think that's what they're calling him now, and Luchasaurus. Why don't you lead the charge here, talking about this chaotic battle going on here?
Well, let's see. You started off with the Young Bucks and Cole in the background.
Baby.
Or in the back. Yeah. Oh, hey, man. Love that guy.
He's great.
Then returning Christian comes in. Hey, guy, back up. It's a bunch of us. One of you. Then Luchasaurus is big. He shows up. Then they're like, hey, we don't want none. Let's act like adults here. Starts fight. Goes out to the, to the people. Got to give the people what they want, as Excalibur would say.
Absolutely.
Then, yes, Jungle Boy Jack also comes diving off of the stage.
That was a hell of a spot. Because it looked like they were kind of far, and he ran, and he was able to, launch himself. He really, launched himself.
He has like some springs in his legs, man. That he can jump really far.
He can.
Like I've seen him and then Sammy Guevara is another one. Like I don't know if you saw Sammy's fight with MJF, but the man jumped from the ring over the barricade onto MJF.
That's ridiculous. That
it was. I was terrified.
It kind of reminds when you say that. So I don't know that spot, but the spot that comes to my mind is like somewhat 90s RVD where he did that spot where he flipped from the turnbuckle into the crowd and he was going to Bam Bam. So it just seems similar to that. But these guys now, they're young and just ridiculously. And it's funny, like, you know, like I'm 33, so I'm like, I know I'm not old, but I'm sitting there saying these guys are just young and just doing all kinds of crazy things. Because it's just flipping all over the place. I'm like, wow, I didn't. You know, you just it always amazes me what the human body can do.
Oh yeah, that's one of the fun things I feel like about being one of those lifelong wrestling fans, where you get to see the progression of wrestling. Because like, you know, the DDT was a finisher at one point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like leg drops finished matches, Canadian destroyers finished matches. Now you got
that breaks my heart every day.
Well, I mean, now you got crazy people doing Canadian destroyers off of people out of the ring. You know what I mean? Like,
now people are trying to commit murder. I know. Like, it's just,
isn't it great?
I know, right? I get to see live action murder. Like, wow, what a time to be alive.
I literally say Ray Phoenix every time he goes out there is trying to kill himself. Like, Ray Phoenix.
Oh, he's a madman.
Oh, he's insane.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've never seen anybody that will just throw themselves at something. I'm just full send. It's amazing.
That's fair, because I kid you not, I don't have a lot of trust in the world for people like that. Because you know you're supposed to trust your opponent. Exactly. I don't trust to meet people like that. Hey, catch me. I don't know if this person's really for me. I don't know if you rock with me like that. So yeah, no, he's a crazy one. But yeah, no, he did get some distance taken out the Young Bucks. They're battling. They're having a match. It looks like they're supposed to be having a match Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, Friday, I think.
No, I was saying for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh, the one at
Full Gear.
Yeah, I think it's Christian and then Jack and Luchasaurus versus the Super Click, which I can't wait to see them drop Kenny like a bad habit. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, it is the Super Click?
Yes.
That's nice. I wanted to get to Derek. He said Tony Khan said he's purposely been slowly building with stars, trying not to be WCW. At some point, they're going to pick it up with Punk. The happy-go-lucky, I'm happy to be here. Punk 2 is slow and not compelling. I'm afraid we've seen the best Punk when he debuted September the 2nd. I think he is just right now, they're just not doing a whole lot because you watch AEW, so you know the roster better than I do. But I feel like there's so much going on. Let Punk, let's have him on him. Let's sprinkle him in when we need him. But let's focus on these other ingredients right now. Because you got someone like Adam Cole who I think he could be doing more. Like, I get the pairing with him and the Young Bucks. I get it. There's that history. And it's like, yeah, when he was in NXT, and don't get me wrong, he was in a group, but he was like his own guy. Like, now I just feel like, and not to say he's like, it's not special, but it just don't. Does that make sense? He just don't feel the same.
No, that's fair.
It just don't feel the same. But at the same time, I still think he's a star when he comes out. I know everyone's gonna laugh like, oh, 5'8" Adam Cole's a star. I'm like, well, yeah, the way he walks out, he comes off like a star.
I was gonna say, the man, look, Adam Cole, whenever he actually
I'm sorry, I always do that. Yes.
Hey, got to. Always gotta correct me, brother. Whenever Adam comes out, he's one of the people who gets one of the biggest pops of the night, no matter how strong the crowd is that night. He's always one of the guys that gets one of the biggest pops. He always can get his baby thing off. Like,
just ask Britt. I'm sorry, you set that all up. That's what I was like, okay. I'm gonna be blocked on someone's Twitter, and I just made one.
That means you're doing it right, I think.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it works for most celebrities.
Right.
But yeah, like Adam, I agree. He doesn't feel like as much of a big deal as he did in NXT, but I feel like that just came with the time. You know what I mean? He came in hot, but I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it's going to build, especially once the whole, thing with Kenny Omega happens, I'm
Right.
sure he's going to feel like even more of a big deal than he already does right now. So again, I feel like just giving it the time, but I do agree with the whole Punk thing.
Right.
He's one of those things that a lot of people are there to see, you know what I mean? So they don't necessarily have to like use him a lot. Let him get his feet back, let him get his feet back under him, because I mean, it's been a long time.
7 years.
And so exactly, it's a good amount of time.
Yeah, something like that, right? It's been a few years.
It's been a couple months. And so, let him get his feet back under him, but let him be the attraction that he is. And I feel like, and if this is just me personally, because I was always a fan of his.
Same.
But like, I feel like he deserves this, like just at least a little bit. Like the man had to put away everything that he loved to get himself right. And I feel like that's why he gave such an impassioned speech about John earlier, because he really feels what he's going through and really understands, where he was coming from. So I feel like, that arena sold out for a reason. The numbers have been going up for a reason. Like,
do you think so? I heard the numbers, and I'm not like a rating person. Like,
yeah,
I was gonna say, like, I really just watch wrestling to just enjoy it. So, like, when people talk ratings, I just listened, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I heard the ratings were not. That night was a big deal, and I'm pretty sure it was a big deal. One, everyone wanted to see how true the rumors are, and also two, that Pop was so big because he was in his own state. Like, terrible if you went to your home state. And they just was like,
You mean like what they did to Cody?
Oh my God! Did they boo him though tonight though? Because I felt like he got a better reaction. Oh, he did get booed
tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, so when he came out, and there was some cheers and stuff, but you could hear a little bit of the booing. But as the match progressed, it just got louder and louder.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he did something. Oh, like he did Dusty's elbow. That guy.
Oh, they didn't like that. Yeah.
They cheered for, like, they'd been booing him, but like, when he did Dusty's thing, they got to cheer. They can't boo Dusty, but then they went right back to booing as soon as he started doing anything else that was his. Like, it was amusing, and it's such a weird place to be in, because he's obviously supposed to be the babyface in the situation, and he's definitely not. But I love that promo that Andrade cut last week when he's like, the difference between me and you, like, the people don't like you, they don't like me either. But I own it, and I don't pretend to be something I'm not, like you.
Ooh,
like
I like that. I like that so much, because he's like, yeah, everyone knows I'm a piece of crap, but you know it too, and you're just being phony about it. It's like,
right, like,
stop it, dude. You get out of here with this. So yeah, I think and we're gonna talk about Cody, so we'll just wrap up this segment with but yeah, like you said, the super click. So the super click against but just to finish it off, I mean, this thing was going on. Jungle Boy hits that like submission, it looked like the STF. I know he has a name for it, but I just don't remember. Snare trap. And he hits it on Adam Cole, and Christian hits the concerto. And so what's funny? So what was Crown Jewel 2 weeks ago, I would say, right? And what happened was I think Seth Rollins hits them prettier. Someone did them prettier. But Michael Cole said, "Oh, that's Edge's move. That's Edge's move." Meanwhile, I'm sitting there saying, "I'm pretty sure Christian does that, but whatever. Maybe I've been drinking. I have, but I mean, whatever, right?" So now Christian does the spear, and I can't help but go like, "That's Edge's move. That's Christian's move." I got really excited. I said, "That's Christian's move." Edge been copying off of Christian for years. He's been riding that coattails for years. Get out of here, Edge. You smell it. But I digress. So they really trying to intensify all this going on here, this segment. But what was the next? Oh, so we had a tag match. I'm sorry, I had to look it up. But FTR, apparently, Luchador, the Lucha's greatest tag team ever. Hold on, that's just. I said, this is bullshit. I don't know. Like,
I also feel like it's bullshit. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Like, and I'm not like overly offended by this, but I'm just sitting there. Like, they came out, right? They're supposed to be country boys, correct? And I'm sitting there saying, is that lucha music they're coming out to us? And no, these two dudes are not coming out here to.
That's just their new entrance music. It's very
really?
Yeah, it's like I guess they were kind of going for like that, like almost like 80s synth, like late 80s kind of synth kind of entrance from back in the day, like kind of a horse mask, I guess they're trying to go for it, but like I'd hate it. I like their old music.
So he's in the old Midnight Express. No, he's not. Sorry, he's a wrestling encyclopedia. At some point, the honeymoon has to come to an end. People will get tired. Wrestles with the build. But no, he's so great with the history of wrestling. It's like that's why he said the old Midnight Express theme. And I wouldn't know anything about this. Good.
Yeah. Like it just like it doesn't match the vibe for me. And I think, for me, a big part of a wrestler, is their entrance and stuff.
Absolutely.
It really sets the tone of what, like, I hated when they switched Moxley's music. Like,
yeah. I mean, this one is not bad, but I did like the out of control because it did fit him because he's unpredictable.
Yeah. Like,
FTR's one was kind of like this just dirty country, like.
Exactly.
So, like, when I heard this, that's what I said. I thought lucha, but apparently it wasn't. I must have misheard it. I misheard it totally misheard it. But you're saying this theme was just this was a miss. This was an AEW miss.
Well, and see, so here's the thing about AEW. They usually let their talent do whatever it is that makes them happy and what they want to do. And, FTR very much are fans of that era and that style of wrestling, and they try and keep it, exactly. They are trying to keep that style and that energy alive, which is always a great thing because NWA exists, and so like it's very good. But like I said, a big part of a wrestler for me is the entrance, because it sets the tone for what you're like, your style and what you're about. And they're very hard hitting and very, like, they're very stiff, you know what I mean? So they're not, it just doesn't fit for me. And it doesn't set a tone for, oh man, something's about to pop off. You know what I mean?
All right. I think, and that's the thing, like, and that's because I say are a fan of fans of FTR, but I like that they bring that old school style. Like,
exactly.
It's different. Like, I get tired of everyone. I get tired everyone could flip. Honestly, I get annoyed. And I don't want to say annoyed. I don't want to sound like that angry old guy. Like, all you do is flip. Yeah. But it's just, like everyone does that. I like that they're different. I like that they actually used the tag rope. I like that they cut the ring in half. So yeah, no, they're good. They had this match. Against Aerostar and former Kalisto. What was his name?
Samurai Del Sol.
Yeah. I was. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got when he started doing the lucha thing like that. I just said no. I
also said no.
I said no.
Yeah.
Please. I said stop. Please don't do that. Like no. I didn't recognize it was him for a minute until they kept saying that. I was waiting. I said that ain't him. That ain't Kalisto. They're like, yeah, that's Kalisto. I said, well, he never said lucha thing. So I couldn't tell that was him and whatnot. So I was really conflicted. I just thought, oh, someone didn't get the memo. Halloween was last week, but that was really Kalisto. So good for him. He's a talent, though. I do say this. He's a talent. I know he got a lot of he would get a lot of flack back then. I don't know if it's towards the end, but I know like in the beginning of his because he would miss spots, and that was something I was seeing a lot tonight that I was kind of not a fan of, like these setup spots, because it's not fluid to me. It's not fluid, so you could tell people are setting up. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the spot. There was a spot that I forgot what spot did I see here, but they were setting it up, and I was like, "Oh snap!" I think it was like somewhat of Hurricane Rana, and it looked good. It just didn't look smooth. I do want to answer this. He said, "Does Kalisto look small in AEW?" I didn't really know that.
I thought he looked a little bit bigger, honestly.
I was gonna say he might look a little bit more leaner. I was gonna say more leaner. It could be that. That's the only relative for people that remember the era. Most fans don't remember or lived through the 80s. Yeah, I was born in 88, so I don't know anything about the 80s. I was 90s and like Power Rangers were cool. You know, our era of Power Rangers. It's yeah. But I digress. We'll save that for the Power Ranger episode. But I just thought like some stuff was just not fluid for me. I just felt like there was a lot of setups, and you could see how like they mistimed it, and it kind of took me out a little bit. You know, like it just it didn't do that.
You're talking about for the tag match, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really. Yeah, I wasn't super impressed. Kalisto always, man's a great talent.
Yes.
Good to see. I'm glad to see him. I was excited when I saw his name pop up. I was like, oh, cool. Kind of hoping this was going to happen.
Yes.
But just, there was a couple of missed cues and the timing was off. I feel like, and it makes me wonder, would that have been different had it been the Lucha Brothers? You know what I mean? And that's been my whole issue with this whole thing and the
You mean like Samurai Del Sol and Aerostar going
versus Lucha Brothers?
They might have because they're like their styles are similar.
Exactly.
Maybe I think they would have been able to complement each other. Sometimes
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying because I mean the Lucha Brothers and FTR have put some just like amazing matches together. Like they had really good match, but there were a lot of miscues in that match in particular. I wasn't a fan of it personally.
Yeah,
cool spots in a couple moments, but not really. It wasn't a cohesive match that you could keep your attention. It didn't.
They didn't really complement each other a lot when it came to everything. There was spots like I do agree to that. There were some really cool things that they were able to work, and there was some things that was just. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue this AEW talk. We're going to be right back. We're at the next 20-minute mark. We're at the 40-minute mark. We're going to play a commercial. We're going to be right back after these words.
Alpha Academy, not bad, but not ready for it yet. Maybe another time, maybe season them up a little bit more and push them to somebody else, maybe. I don't think that they're ready yet.
I don't agree with that completely. I don't agree with that sentiment because Gable is amazing in the ring. He's one of the most underrated superstars on any roster. I feel like if you put him against kind of anybody, he is one. He's a former NXT tag champion, former SmackDown tag champion. He's pretty much been the standard bearer for good professional wrestling.
Listen, one of the moments where I've been the maddest at something WWE did was when they did the whole, Jason Jordan thing with Kurt Angle, and I was like, Chad Gable's right there. Like, he's right there. Like, he looks like I mean, where's the sick? I mean, he's perfect. Yeah, like I really wish they would do something with Chad.
It's funny with that commercial. I always laugh because towards the end, you were so frustrated you didn't even finish your sentence. That's frustration there, ladies. When you go, and then you're choking something. I don't know. I think you was choking an Invisible Man or something. I sat there and said, poor guy. But, ladies, man. It was you was visually choking VKM. He was wanted to do a few weeks back when he had that interview.
Oh my goodness! Like it's just one of those things that just irritated me so badly, and I always get so heated when I think about it because
I saw
he's still right there. I'm not.
I know you promise he's still right there. And he's still good too. He's really good.
So good. He could have
underrated.
Like Kurt was still there. It was perfect. The setup was there. Chad was right there. Chad could be, they could have passed the torch. It could have been a beautiful moment and all that crap.
Yeah. You know what was funny to me about that, and then we'll continue AEW, but it was just so funny because it's like, hey, look, Kurt Angle, he has a child that he don't know about. It's Jason Jordan, and I'm like, the black guy. I said, okay, I see you, Kurt. I said, all right, brother. I said, okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought I said I want a whole. I wish there was this origin story where Curtis sitting down. He's like, yeah, there was this girl, and I was really, it was about my Olympics. But I saw this sister, and she had soul. I don't know. I just want a backstory on that because I just thought that was so random. Like Chad Gable, I get what you're saying. Like the connections were all there.
It was right there.
Yes. Derek is joining in here. I want to get him in because he's like a third host. There's always someone on the roster like Chagger, a great wrestler that won't get what you think they need. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I know it's just not him. There's so many people on the roster that is criminally utilized, and it's such a shame. Like I think of Ricochet. I know he can't talk, but I always said that's such a talent. I feel like there's something he should be a priority, but we'll save that for one of those specials because we'll be here all night talking about what could have been. But let's talk about this segment. I feel like we might miss some, but you could correct me. But let's talk about the Inner Circle. And what was it? Dan. What's his name? Dan. I called him Dan Whiteman. I just don't know his last name.
Dan Lambert.
Oh, I love this man. I kid you not. I am a fan. I love that he comes out. He comes out with his white privileged self, and he's sitting there on. He's just fucking like yelling, "Turn that shit off!" I love this guy. He's just so angry, and he's just always ragging and yelling. Chris Jericho, but he's kind of becoming too. He's kind of fitting that wrestling trot, if that makes sense. Because like before, he was talking about all this stuff. He said, "My face ain't really fat." I'm like, don't fall for that, Dan. You're Dan. You're Dan the man. What are you talking about? You formed this. He said, what he said? He said he formed this team 25 years ago. Just elite athletes. I mean, really killers. I don't know these UFC guys' names. I don't watch UFC. Like that to know these. I know who Paige is. I know exactly who Paige is. That's the only one I knew. Everyone else I didn't know.
Yeah, Chris mentioned that too.
Yeah, no, Chris had some fun there. But listen, not for nothing. Paige set herself up. Paige turned to Paige on herself.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know these things, but Dan is just so great. He's talking about all these guys' credentials and what they can do. One guy has a great had the most fights. I don't know what everybody else was doing. And now the Inner Circle is just taking their time ripping these guys apart. Now, Jake Hager, I'm sorry. I like anytime I see Jake Hager, I just turn my back. I mean, listen, the man could beat me up. I already know that for a fact. That man could just throw me to Jupiter, and I would just have to live there because I don't think I could come back to Earth because I'm done.
Beat most people up, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, no, he's a legit threat. But when he talks, I just can't. I like when he's when he talks, I'm looking in my hat. Like I was just seeing if I could pull a rabbit out my hat because I'm bored. I don't take him like any kind of interest. But he did say something funny when he said something about called a guy Popeye. And when he zoomed in on that guy's face, I said, oh, he really do look like Popeye.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, there's those moments where somebody says something and you're like, that is so stupid. But it just makes you laugh. Right. It just makes you laugh. And if it makes you laugh, then it served its purpose, like you said.
Yes.
Like, I didn't realize Junior Dos Santos looked so much like Popeye until he said something.
Oh yeah, when he said that, and the chin didn't help either.
Bro, right? And because the man's been in so many fights, and so
well, he should stop.
I think he's pretty much retired now for the most. Like, I mean, he's not completely retired.
Right. Okay.
But he with that line, I tried not to laugh at it. You know what I mean? It was one of those moments where I was just like. I didn't want to.
I know that's true. I know that made me. He said Paige Van hijacked the segment. Do you think she hijacked this?
I think she did a great job on the mic. Honestly, I thought that was really good. I don't know how many promos she's cut before, but I thought that was actually really good. But yeah, of course, Jericho being Jericho.
I know, but when she sat here and said, I could take all you guys on by herself, I said,
you done messed up.
I sat here and said, she must not have been around for the Attitude Era because that was stuff that Jericho lived off of.
Did you see the Grinch smirk on Jericho's face as she said that? And he's just like, oh, you finna get it now. you know.
No, he did. Yeah,
And,
that's what. As soon as she said it, he was like, "Aye, Stephanie," you know, because like Stephanie would do something, and it was easy for him to just go that route. There was a spot.
So good.
There was a spot where, I forget which one of Proud and Powerful said it because they were talking, but they spoke in Spanish. To which Paige says, you know, like, what did he say? And then Sammy says, yeah, he just called you a bitch. And I'm sitting there saying, oh my God, these guys, man. But the people that they picked are pretty much it. They picked, was it Man of the Hour? I forgot what this group is named. Men of the Year. That's the name. Men of the Year. Yeah. 2 UFC fighters that I just don't remember their name. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't know. And
Santos and I forgot the other guy's name.
And Dan, but see, here's the joke. Everyone's sitting there thinking like Dan don't want to get in. Dan don't want to get in there because he don't want to hurt nobody. This man is Dan. The man is going to get in that ring and embarrass Chris Jericho. He said, I loved even the part when he said here when he called Sammy to the thing. He said, and bring the high chair for Sammy. This he's great. What's going to happen? Oh, he's tremendous. Oh, I wish he was my neighbor because I would love to see what he would have done to these mailmen. This man is a madman. This man is going to single-handedly destroy the Inner Circle. Like right now, the Inner Circle have met their most dangerous challenge ever. Like a few weeks ago, I was on this show and I called Team Taz the 1960s Legion of Doom because they were fucking losers. But right now, the Inner Circle has met their match. They're Krypton. Was it not Krypton? Was it Kryptonite? They're about to be single-handedly destroyed. Image this right here. Image. You know how there was what was this? Marvels. They had Infinity War. Image this, but there was no end game. This is what's going to happen to the Inner Circle. They are about to get destroyed. Earth scorched, motherfucker. It's over for them. No one even know. He's about to put his foot on his neck. Jericho don't know what the fuck he stepped into. Well, I can tell you what you did. You pissed off Dan, and Dan is about to be unforgiven and kick your ass. And I like Chris Jericho. I love Chris Jericho. I grew up liking him. But I got to say, he's doing more than he could chew or whatever. I don't know if he even chew. He might have to be drinking from a straw after this. But I digress. I want to give it up to my man Dan because he's about to embarrass Chris Jericho. And that's my speech.
That was a beautiful speech.
Thank you, sir. We're going to be working together more. I can already tell you that. But Dan the man, baby. But what was the next?
Dan, man, he's hilarious. And he gives off that old school kind of vibe too. Mm-hmm. And like it's just him playing into the crowd is always fun. He doesn't take himself too seriously, which is great. Him getting riled up and jumping up and down and stuff, like it's just all the stupid stuff, and it makes you smile and it makes you laugh. And again, as long as you're smiling, that means it has served its purpose.
You could tell he's having fun.
Oh, he's having a great time.
And I think he's also he's having fun, but also playing into that, you know, like how some wrestling fans are like the stuff he said about Sammy. You're too small. How many people who are, I learned this apparently is a word. Some people are sizes because if someone is like, oh, what? You're only 5'11"? You're not a wrestler. That's a wrestler. Oh, the guy who's 6'4" and can barely bend over? Right. But whatever. Some people like G.I. Joes. Oh, G.I. Joes are kind of cool. But
I had G.I. Joes when
I had a my older brother would have them. I would just break them. But I was so much younger, I didn't realize. Because you remember they were being held together by rubber band. So it was easy to kind of just,
And that noise.
Yeah, I think that's what I like. I think I like the noise. I'm going to find some and see if I can do it again.
I don't think if you find some of those that old, you should be popping them in half. But do with what you will. Oh, yeah.
What we got here? We got Elvis. He said Anna Jay was looking fine. She's a pretty girl. Bottom feeding trash bag hole. That's classic Chris Jericho. And Dan Lambert is a legit wrestling fan from the 70s and 80s. And he's a belt collector. Wow. Cool. Wasn't I think what you call was a part of his team. Bobby Lashley, right? Like he was actually a part of that for a period, or trained with him or something like that. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's really a wrestling fan. But what's the next segment? Let's go on. What's the next segment, friend?
Andrade versus Jamie Hayter.
I can't get into this, bro. I'm sorry.
The match or the tournament or both?
It's not the tournament. It's not the tournament. The tournament is like cool. There's another belt. I think that's interesting that they got a secondary belt for women. I don't. In my time of watching wrestling, I just don't remember that. But the women, Anna Jay and what's this girl's name? I'm sorry. What was her name? Not Anna Jay. That was. I don't know, man. Look, I'm not gonna be like super negative. It just wasn't hitting for me. It really wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not a super huge fan of Jamie's. I mean, she was she had control early in the match.
Right.
Anna got a DDT off, switched control for a little while, but then of course Britt and Rebel got involved. Jamie won.
Yeah.
They start beating her up. Right. I mean. I know Jamie was brought in to be Britt's kind of like muscle, I guess.
Her diesel.
Yeah, but she lackluster,
Yeah.
But because there's nothing like super special about her. She doesn't have some kind of crazy move. She doesn't, I'm not like excited or upset or anything when Jamie comes out. And I feel like when you're a wrestler, if you don't invoke any kind of emotion at all, that's the worst kind. You know what I mean? Because at least if you're getting boos, then that means you're doing something to warrant that. And as a heel, which they are, that's what you should be getting. But like people just don't care whenever she's around. And I feel like, Anna Jay has a decent following and the girl's really good. I mean, and she's very green, like a lot of the roster. But
yeah.
Considering she's very good. But yeah, I also couldn't really super get into the match. I was more excited about the segment afterwards than I was about the actual match.
So why don't we just get into that? Because I mean, I think we can all agree that the AEW the weakest point is their women. And like I like to have fun on air and stuff like that, but I do want to say I can acknowledge that these women are trying, but the match didn't do it for me. I mean, you have like Anna Jay. I remember I forget when or whatnot, but I was like, she's still learning along the way, and that's fine. That's cool because I feel like when you get to a certain amount of years and have stuff underneath your belt, you get better. You should get better because this wrestlers I think we could say have been around for a long time, and it's like, oh no, this whatever. It's just you're not there. And she's young enough to get better. They just didn't do well. And whatever. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ty came out.
Yes.
Fought off the three of them, Britt, Rebel, and Jamie. Then she gets overpowered, of course, and then of course Thunder Rosa comes out and drop kicks the ever loving Jesus out of Jamie, and it was amazing. And I always love Rosa's intensity. Like I enjoyed like Thunder Rosa. I'm trying to think of a match where I wasn't happy with her performance, and I don't think I can think of one because she's one of those people that just has a presence about her.
She does.
I'm glad she's there. I feel like her, Serena Deeb, now Ruby Soho, some of these more experienced ladies who have, especially ones who have done the TV thing, are able to help, really get this women's division, at a much higher level.
Yes. No, and I can agree because with those three names you mentioned, those definitely ingredients you need in your women's division. I mean, I think these are things that can help strengthen it out. Like, yeah, have your new girls, the girls who are still finding their way, however you want to word it. But have those girls that, like you just said, Ruby, she has experience by being on WWE. Serena Deeb, WWE, but she has a long career. I mean, I think almost like 20 years, right? Close to 20, 15.
Yeah, I think it was like
it's about, I think it's the same amount of time as Mickey. I'm just saying she has some time. And then you got oh god, I was looking on her name. Rosa. She's great. She's gonna be I just think you have so many great those three girls that's gonna help that division out a lot. So what was the next segment? What was the very next thing?
Jade Cargill. That is all.
Oh yeah, she said something about she's that bitch. And I was like, that is relatable. And I moved on.
That is accurate. And we will just Amazon.
Oh,
I love her. Oh my god. I love her and Mark Sterling. Like, he was a good pick for her because it's so funny. Just him, you know, I mean, the man worships the ground that she steps on. And he's the mouthpiece that she needs. He's very about business. He tells you what's about to happen. And then when she tells him to shut up, he shuts up. And it's a perfect dynamic.
Yeah, it was probably something she really needed too, because like she's still finding her way. I don't see her winning this tournament at all. But
like her presence, but her presence is outstanding, and she's constantly improving, which is very impressive. Like every time she has a match, I'm like, wow, she's already improved more since the last time I saw her. Like Jade's one of those ones I'm really watching to really blossom into an amazing champion.
What's the final product going to be, right?
Yeah.
No, she definitely have the tools. She got the muscles. She got the muscles.
Man.
She got and she does have the character down. Now the in-ring work is like in between, because she's had some matches where I don't want to say these were bangers, but I was like her match with legit Layla.
It was a banger for her.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And her like experience level.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that was a really good showing. I mean, she had a good match with Red Velvet, so that was pretty. And I would say decent. I'm not gonna sit here and say that was 5 stars at the Tokyo Dome. It was a decent match. It was pretty good. And I thought legit. I guess the little girls, just to show her strength and dominance and everything like that. Because, someone would and we didn't get to talk about this, I think, early in the night, Nyla Rose, because I guess she's going to be in the tournament and she's going to face Sheeter. But I just want to throw this out here. Can I throw this out here? I'm gonna throw a pitch. I know baseball season's over, but I'm going to still throw a pitch here. This girl sits here and go like, he says, oh, congratulations on your 50 wins. How long did that take you to get there? Wait a minute. Do you have 50 wins? Shut up.
All right. So
here we go.
I definitely said the same thing. I was like, but where are your 50 wins at?
Come on. Can I get a hallelujah up in
here? The same amount of time, and you don't live it. Anyway.
I couldn't believe it. And then Vicky, who's supposed to be the manager, to sit here and be like, no, baby, no, we can't do that. No. Vicky, like she's Rita Pulse. I just can't freaking deal.
Yo, I thought I was the only one who called her that.
No, Rita Pulse? No.
Rita Pulse, bro.
Yeah, bro. Come on, that's what I said. I make Power Ranger references too. What are you talking about?
I thought I was the only one who called her that. I'm sorry.
It was great. All good.
That was terrible. I was like, it's so funny because like Nyla usually keeps me in stitches on like Twitter and stuff, and she's had cut some pretty good promos before, but that one just was not one of them.
Wasn't a winner.
Yeah, just that wasn't it, Chief.
That one ain't it. Derek said, have you noticed besides Dante Martin with Leo Rush, all the other black talent is tag team or faction led by a white person? See, now I don't watch a whole lot of AEW, but I've heard that was one of the things with AEW. They'll talk about their I didn't even realize that, because you said all the other black talent is in a tag team or a faction led by a white person. And one of the things that they someone mentioned, they lack diversity here. So like hearing you say like, and by the way, there's a black person, but he's led by a white person. You go like, what year is this? I don't know. But I don't know. Do you want to touch that, or do you want to move on to the next?
Shoot, no, I'm just sitting here I was just like,
Right. It makes you go like, right?
It was like,
with a few M's going up.
Yes, many M's, but that's a very good call out. I'm going to think about it more though.
Oh. What was the I'm sorry, do you got it or do you want me to take the next?
Let's see. Next. Oh, MJF.
Oh.
Yes. So after Jade Cargill, we had MJF coming out. This was a great promo for me. I don't know how you felt about it. I mean, MJF for me knocks it out of the park pretty much every time he picks up a mic. I don't know if he knows how to give a bad promo, but him speaking on the duality of him and Darby and already establishing the pillars of AEW, the guys that everybody's pretty much kind of feeling are the pillars, the young pillars anyway, of AEW. Yeah. And that how their fates are intertwined and, why people hate him and why people love Darby. I thought it was a great promo. Darby's another one who I love in the ring, but the boy can't talk. Not really. He's working on it, which, again, they got to learn. You have to learn. It's just part of the course. But Max can be in a feud by himself because he's that good on the mic. And he doesn't need someone else who's strong on the mic to be able to have that back and forth. Darby can just look at him and you still get the same effect if they were actually dueling back and forth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just there was a moment where Max did something. He was screaming at Darby. And I swear, in movies when you see somebody's face turn into somebody else's face or something, there was a moment, I swear, I legitimately, say what you want, I legitimately caught a cold chill because I saw just in the intensity of the way his delivery and everything, I saw Rick's face, on MJF,
Rick?
Emulation, Ric Flair, the emulation was so strong that I just was Jesus, can't wait till you just older and can you imagine MJF in 10 years? He's
gonna be a whole nother. He's gonna be a whole nother beast.
Oh my god! It made me so excited for the future. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the things that I enjoy so much about AEW is that there is so much young talent that is budding there. And you look at Dante Martin. I saw Dante for the first time, and I was like, wow. Him and his brother Dante and Darius, when they did, they debuted, had one match, and then the next week they were on Dynamite with the Young Bucks,
right?
Back when they were still faces, and I think it was a championship match, if I remember correctly. But just seeing all this talent, Jungle Boy, Sammy, MJF, Darby, Lee. I can't wait to see what happens with Lee Johnson. I feel like he's in the ring. The boy's actually really good in the ring when they let him have his time to shine. But there's just so many people that are there, and infinite combinations with how the doors are open and everything with that. But yeah, MJF coming out talking about Darby, himself, saying that he kind of acknowledged Darby, and I feel like he's one of the few people that MJF has legitimately kind of acknowledged almost as an equal.
Right.
Of course, he buried him and was like, I'm better than you. Yeah, I mean, that's his whole thing. I'm better than you, and you know it. But he spoke about Darby in such reverence as an equal without actually saying you are my equal. You know what I mean? And that was why I felt like it was such a good promo.
I dig the promo was good. I thought the action was really good too when they eventually went out there and Darby goes. There's no when he goes. He's all.
I thought he broke Max's back going over that railing, dude.
The way he hit him with that clothesline.
Yeah, that clothesline. I thought his back was broken.
Oh, thank God he landed correctly and was able to avoid that.
Yeah,
I thought the action was really good. I thought they did what they had to do. I do like what you said about them mentioning we were the young guys that's going to because they do have a lot of those established stars like CM Punk, Chris Jericho. You know, the guys who are like more towards the twilight of their career, and they like because you know I couldn't put Adam Cole. Adam Cole is pretty young too. He's just not younger than these guys who are what 23,
even
24.
Danielson,
Danielson
still
absolutely
has plenty of time left.
Yeah, and they still got a lot of time. Because I mean, let's be real, like wrestlers don't really retire at 40. They're just getting started.
Look at Dustin, man. I mean,
oh my god,
Dustin has had some of the best matches of his career that I've seen while he's been here in AEW, and it's just blown my mind and really made me upset about how he was just, you know, hanging out in the back, like just rotting away in catering in WWE. And I'm like, you had this talent for so long and just treated him as like a little sideshow, you know, fun party favor every now and again for a cheap gimmick or a cheap laugh. And I mean, like, the work he's doing, like he's the one, like, you know, he's one of the big guys training the women in AEW, like, you know, almost kind of like how Finley transitioned into at the E. And so I'm so glad he's been able to show what he's always been capable of. Right. And while putting over young talent, which is what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Derek, we want to say what's interesting is Sting coming out to make MJF backpedal, then Warlow and Sean Spears with FTR nowhere to be seen. FTR was we saw him again. Matter of fact, let's talk about. I mean, let's not talk about them, but let's talk about this Cody versus. I was actually, I wanted to say excited, but I said, this could be good because I think Andrade Idolo. He's really good. You was mentioning a few times, you know, him and Pac, not Tupac, but Pac. They had some really good encounters, but I feel like he hasn't had that. You know, like maybe as the Pac matches, maybe I have to look him back because I heard they're good. But I don't know. Do you feel like so far? I mean, how long he's been here? I think almost like half the year, right? Because he was here in March, April. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably like 8 months.
And maybe the Pac matches were, but I'm saying I don't know necessarily if he have had that match. But then again, I didn't really see the Pac matches, so that's not fair on my end to say. I thought this was going to be really good. You picked up on the and I'm going by what you said is like you can hear them, his own people booing him. Cody, his own people booing him. Do you think it's time for him to turn heel? Do you think it's like
I thought he should have turned heel. Oh God, when was it he came out with the black hair?
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah, I thought he should have turned heel then. Like I knew he was going to punk out, but I really wanted him to turn heel back then. I thought that would have been a good time for him to turn heel, especially after the whole Malachi thing. I thought surely he's going to turn heel now. But and especially with the Homelander gimmick and everything, you know, the reluctant hero thing, you know, the face, I got it. Like, I saw all of that, and I was like, okay, he's going to do it. But it's so, like, I still think it's going to happen. I know he swears up and down.
He was just pointing out, like, a lot of wrestlers don't retire in their 40s.
Yeah, man.
Good job.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like,
I mean, when we were growing up, I mean, a lot of people could talk about Hogan with hair. I remember Hogan when he was 50, so there's that. But continue. You were talking about the Cody and pretty much his gimmick, and I agree. I do think. Why is this in my hand? I do agree that you know, like he I say more after the Malachi Black stuff because like I know what you're talking about when he had the black hair. I didn't know what that was about. Yeah, the Malachi Black. I thought that was a good reason to turn, or at least have Arn Anderson turn on him something, but. They have this match. I just don't think it was hitting. They have this match, you know, back and forth. But Idolo get the win with the help from FTR, who I guess they're still being paired up with. Is the what was this thing called? What was the MJF team called?
Pinnacle.
Yeah, is that done? I think that's done. Is that done? Because like they don't even roll out with him anymore. They're rolling out with Idolo. You know,
Yeah,
now I don't know what's going on.
I feel like the underlying narrative has kind of been they're kind of just on his payroll at this point. Like they come out and assist him when he needs them to, not really an actual team or a group.
Right.
You know, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Like very much so. Like just it's good business type deal. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the match could have or might have felt a little bit differently had the crowd not been so against, like
Cody. Yeah.
So against Cody, but not wanting to cheer for Andrade, but at the same time, Cody's still supposed to be the babyface. So it really throws off the dynamic, because you can have heel versus heel matches.
Yeah.
But they have to be established as such. And when you have the narrative that's supposed to be a babyface and a heel, but your babyface is getting booed,
very
vividly booed. It throws off the dynamic of the match. I feel like I feel like there were some good moments. Like there's some great moments, and I feel like the match could have felt a lot better had the crowd been cheering for anybody or just booing for everybody, or usually in heel versus heel match they pick the person that they hate less. So, which I guess
it felt like last year's presidential voting thing. But it's hilarious because you do that. That's actually a nail on the head, because I feel like a lot of times with the crowd, that's your soundtrack, right? So when you have that and they get invested, it kind of brings you. Now, don't get me wrong, you like what you like, but sometimes the crowd kind of can make you just a little bit more. It kind of can bring you in a little bit more. So yeah. I do get what you mean, because I felt like the crowd were, like I said, I didn't peep it that they were so against Cody. So when you say that, I could see how that could just turn you off. Meanwhile, these guys might be really meshing, because I think Cody's good. I really sincerely think Cody is good. I don't think the cool thing now people say is give them your flowers now or whatnot. I don't think he gets his flowers enough. I think he's good. I think he's really good. Now the character, I can understand the questions behind it. It's the I'm not going to be like your traditional wrestling character perceives to be traditional wrestling character.
Right.
You get how that could be such a turnoff. But he takes that Cody eats the L. He's about to get jumped by FTR and Idolo. On Anderson, man. Like Glock Anderson. I don't know, man. This dude gets in the ring. Then you have what's this? Oh God. Blanchard. He's out there too. And I'm just sitting there saying, when I see these guys get in the ring, I'm so sorry. But, I was close to playing Thank You for Being a Friend, because I said, these two Golden Girls do not need to be in the same ring. Like, why are they in the ring like this? You see on like this? I don't know if he was trying to reach for his gun. I don't know what was going on. I saw it like this. And then you see like Tony, Telly. Yeah, thank you. And they're getting ready to just, they're about to have a shakedown. But the Lucha Brothers said, nah, we're not a fan of the Golden Girls. So they said, and the two old men got out of there, leaving the what is it? You have the Lucha Brothers against the real Lucha Brothers. And we have, that's how it ends off. I mean, they're going to have this match. They got to do something to give them a little bit of, not momentum, but just to show they got to interact somehow. So when they do have this, when they have this rematch, it's like, all right, they didn't take that loss lightly, because that's one of the things sometimes wrestling fans details everything. You know what I mean? I lost the title. I should be pissed. I shouldn't be like, nah, that's okay. Let me just go to the vending machine and get a Sprite. No, I should be like, nah, I lost the title and I should kick somebody's fucking ass. That's what you're supposed to do. Not, oh, it's okay. I'll just go scratch my balls. It's okay. No, you should be upset.
Immersion is so important in wrestling, because that suspension of belief is what really helps you enjoy and really get into the storylines, and then you notice the small things, like Hangman Page came out and his background lights were purple, which is the color of the Dark Order. And he's been very closely associated with the Dark Order, where they weren't always. They were usually blue. Yeah, they were usually blue. Historically they've been blue for the most part. So the fact that they were purple when he came out, and then, he hasn't been, changed his ring gear to purple and black, but he hasn't outright outright said, I'll join you guys or, be part of your group or anything like that. I don't feel like he's going to wind up being the leader necessarily, but I do feel like he's at least going to be that friend. And he may not actually, officially join the Dark Order, but he'll always be that guy that's.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say that's just as fine too, where he can just be affiliated without being affiliated. Like exactly. I remember back in the day in the 90s, which is kind of ridiculous now, but as a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing because the NWO is like my favorite faction of all time. Now, Brett was never officially a part, but he was always rolling with them. He was always there. He just, you know what
it's
I mean?
Like, and Mark, it's that whole thing, it's that guy that's always going to come and help, come and back you up if stuff starts getting hairy. Guy.
Derek, he says, the problem with Cody, he's a pretentious babyface coming out with elaborate entrance better than your world champion, Kenny Omega. He used to come out with an entourage, Arn Anderson, Brandy Rhodes, and a bikini. I like that part. And made sure to add, and by the way, his wife came out with a bikini. He's an EVP, Go Big Show, and Rhodes to the top. He comes off phony. And Derek also says, Tully Blanchard debuted in 75. Arn Anderson debuted in 82. I wasn't born in neither one of those years. Don't want to see them in the ring. So pretty much what he's saying is these dudes have been around for a long time. Yeah. But let's get into this main event and get ready to call it. Let's call it home. I mean, I did because I want to give this a little bit of time before we go too further along the way. But Miro filling in for Jon Moxley. It was supposed to be Jon Moxley against Orange Cassidy. I just want to throw in these little pieces here. I like the rebuild of Miro. I do like that he's not a joke. I like Orange Cassidy too. My love for wrestling or the things I like in wrestling, it goes like this. Some things could be very silly, and I'm like, oh, that's just too silly. And then there's things where I'm like, I hate myself. But Orange Cassidy to me, he's because. Yes, he's silly. Yeah, or he's I don't know how to word it. I don't want to say gimmicky, but like I know he can go in the ring, but he does the hands in the pockets. He does the yeah. I like the now. Sometimes it could be a little over the top, like if he's laying in the middle of the ring and then he puts his hand behind his back and that could be a little silly. But like the little the kicks where it's just like but. He did
doing that with Sting is a moment that will live rent free in my brain.
What he did with Sting, right?
Yeah, he did that with Sting. Like Sting went back and forth with him.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh, it was so good. Like that was I was like, this is wrestling right here. Like this, the fact that you have an entire arena screaming their heads off at two guys not doing anything whatsoever to each other, but enjoying every minute of it. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? And so I enjoy the Orange Cassidy gimmick as well.
No, I do. It's great. But he shows fire too. I mean, he had this really good table bump where he hits like it was like an elbow splash on Miro, which was almost close to a count out.
Yeah, it was a flying crossbody.
Crossbody.
Where the bell is. Yeah.
And he showed some fire. But Miro was just because Matt Hardy was there, but I don't think he even interfered.
No, he was just in the audience.
But I like that Miro because I don't mind your cheating dog shit, heels. But Miro should be like, yo, I could really just beat you. Like, what do you mean? Like, he did. And he did, and I like that. And he hit the game over. And I mean, I've seen camel clutches for years, but when he wrenched back like that. I go, that's a shoot. I said he didn't get the memo. Yeah, wow. Don't hurt your opponent. Because when he leaned back like that, and I thought, and I'll say this: when he did it to Darby, I liked it on. I don't want to say I liked it on Darby. That comes off like I have some sick mind here. But the way he applied it on him and bent back, and he didn't tap. He just passed out. But it was such a good visual, just to show how devastating that move is. So devastating. I remember Scott Steiner doing it. The Iron Sheik made that move famous. But to me, Miro mastered that move a lot better than the guys that I just named. The way he leans back and just applies pressure and just and seeing Orange and I mean when you see the hand and like Orange don't really do a lot of fast. Yeah, he don't do a lot of fast movement. He didn't do a. No, he said,
Nah,
"Oh
man,
yeah, that hurts."
you gotta stop that. Just
Yeah, no. So I thought this match was what it needed to be. Miro, I don't see him winning. Quick point out, Daniel Bryan was out for commentary, so we're gonna have a match between these two. It's gonna be really interesting. I mean, Miro already had a loss, so I mean, it doesn't hurt that he loses to Daniel Bryan. But I said that match should be. I think that's gonna be fun. I think that's gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got two outstanding talents that are about to just lay it all out there and put everything that they have. Man, the first time he pulled that game over out, that hurt my back. Like I was just like, I was like, yo, you tripping, bro. Like that was the worst. Cause when he first started, he did it like he did, like the Accolade.
Yes.
But then the first night he just reached back. I was like, oh no, dude, bro, calm down. It's not that serious, man. Just
yeah. And so you had to go like, this is a work, dude.
Right, like so hard. Just I was like, bro, like what is wrong with you? But it like you said, it makes for such a great visual, and it's a very believable. Like that looks like it really, really hurts, and it probably on some level really does actually hurt.
I believe it do.
It has to.
You're not supposed to be bending back like that.
Yeah, your body ain't supposed to bend like that. So I know it does, and because people generally do tap out of it very quickly. Only your real hard asses who have pain love.
You mean like had just a tolerance for pain?
Yeah, like Eddie, Darby.
Yeah.
Those guys who are like, I'm too tough to tap out. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm tapping. I might even do a beat.
I'm a pass out guy, man. I can't do it.
There you go.
But like, yeah, it just that visual was outstanding. I would like to point out real quick the little promo between Tony Schiavone and John Silver setting up their match with his match with Adam Cole. I'm very excited, baby. I'm very excited about the match. I love John Silver. Man, looks like he's shot out of a cannon every time he's on the screen. He's just a fun guy to watch, and I love the fact that AEW rewards its viewers who are in like the more like deep stuff, so like the vlogs and like all the little YouTube stuff that they do, because they throw little bits that like stuff that comes from bits in that. So like he called them Budge, which is from like a little bit that they've been doing on Being the Elite and stuff like that. Yeah, so like little things here and there, just it makes you that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy about AEW. It's not all the flips and stuff. I do enjoy the flips, but I enjoy all types of wrestling coming together. I love the inclusivity that they have as far as like the roster and stuff. And then just those little sprinkles, the Bucks and Kenny and them doing the shell shock during the match, the Halloween match. It's just those little things that I appreciate as a fan, and they expect you to notice if one of those if you know things. So just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, back to the finish. I'm very excited to see Danielson and Miro go at it. I think it's going to be a really good match. Might be match of the night. Who knows? Hey man, those two guys can go. I mean, and Danielson's always had a fire about him, but he looks so unhinged now, and I've been nothing but impressed, and I've been enjoying it since he's gotten there, and I'm very excited to see who finally takes him out, and B, just all these matches that he could have. That Suzuki match is probably still my favorite currently, though.
I heard a lot of good reviews about that, and it's on YouTube too, so I know it can totally. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna
watch it.
Watch it. I'm gonna give it a whirl when I have a moment, because I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. And speaking of reviews, we hope that you enjoyed this review. Before we go home, I'm gonna do some plugs real quick. It's Wednesday, and so we're gonna start with Monday. On Monday, you can catch Homie the Big Bro. We could catch Around the Block with Mike Knox. That's around 6:30. Also on Mondays, we have Monday Night Raw. You can watch Raw just like how Big E is doing with your back turned.
Man's a legend.
That demands a legend. You can tune in. You can see, I believe it's Big Daddy Cool and the Ultimate Fan. They're going to be reviewing Monday nights. Tuesdays nights. That's the show I'm on half the time. I'm there sometimes. It's me, Badguy Jack, along with the Captain Shakespeare. We review NXT, and she yells at people. On Wednesdays, you can catch the All Elite Joker. You're supposed to be on with the administrator, but he took the night off, and we hope that he feels better. But on Wednesdays, you can catch the tag team of the administrator and All Elite Joker. What else is on? Do we have any other wrestling? Oh, we do have other wrestling. And on Friday, we have I hope
what is
huh?
Nothing.
Oh, Fridays. I'm trying to think who's on the show. I believe it's Big Daddy Cool and the Wrestling Doll, but I could be totally wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, if you follow us on all social media platforms, you'll know it. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and we have a Patreon. Also, Tuesdays and Thursdays is entertainment. You can catch. I don't know what they're doing Tuesday, but I know entertainment is getting ready to do Spider-Man. They're going to do Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing 1 and 2. That way, it can lead everything up to Spider-Man No Way Home. And what other plugs we got here? On Wednesdays as well, you could catch what I said, my partner. You could catch the Captain and Mike Knox as they reviewed the challenge. They just did that before we came on the air. And on Saturdays, we review the Squid Game. And Wednesday, like 2 weeks from now, we'll be reviewing Hawkeye. So we got a lot of content coming up, and we have another thing coming up too. We're not going to say it yet, because when the time is right, you guys will know. He knows it. I know it. But, ladies and gentlemen, what also we know is time is up. We hope that you enjoyed this review. We hope you guys have a great night. We're going to get into this chat, because we'll make sure we get in there. He says Miro and Malachi Black might be the only two guys that was released from WWE that have thrived in AEW. They're doing a great job. I think AEW rewards a small percentage of the fans that watch Dark being the elite, and people just excited following the Easter eggs. If you're not a fan, you wouldn't know what's going on. They need to do a better job on catching people up on it. Yeah, because sometimes that's the insight stuff, and a lot of people feel away. But I get where you come from, with your excitement about, because you're like, I watch this stuff. I understand that stuff. It's almost like so I'll compare it to this. I think this is a fair comparison. It's almost like if you watch these Marvel movies and you continue to follow these Marvel movies, and then when you get to a point, you're like, I know that reference because you've been following it. So I think that's the best way of it. And
I will say real quick though,
sure.
during that promo, John did lead the crowd to say it. He was like, I've been calling my buddy, and then he didn't say anything, and then most of the arena yelled budge. So like, that's why I just enjoy those tiny little moments, and I feel like it's a large chunk of the fans, because we are very close. I feel like this where part of the issues come from some of the fans. It is a very close and niche fan group, and so yeah, I wish they would promote being the elite and stuff, but I know that it's kind of some shenanigans sometimes, so it's not really something you can. Stuff that they do that you can't always be promoting on national television. But
there you go.
I get what you're saying though.
And there you go. And with that said, Joker, any last words before we go home?
No. Just enjoy wrestling. You like what you like, and everybody stay safe.
I can agree to all that. And we say, have a good night, folks.